One hazing death, the outrage comes and goes. Then another young life is taken. And we question again, when will this culture of violence end? This is On the Record. I'm Ruth Cabal. Our guests for this episode live in the studio, Carminia and Horacio Castillo Jr., the parents of UST Law freshman Atio. Atio died due to hazing. Also on Viber call, the brother of another hazing victim, Dexter Dormitorio. He's the older sibling of Darwin, who died after hazing, or what officials called maltreatment, at the Philippine Military Academy. Later, we'll also speak to Bagong Henerasyon Party List Representative Bernadette Herrera D. Welcome to On the Record. Good evening to you, Mr. and Mrs. Castillo.
Good evening. And good evening to all the viewers.
We know how it must still be painful for the family, but we thank you for joining us to discuss this very important issue 2 years after the death of your son and the passage of what's supposed to be a stronger law against hazing. We still hear these hazing incidents. How do you feel about it, Paul?
Well, thank you for having us. And again, we extend our condolences to the Dormitorio family. It is a strong law, yung amended anti-hazing law. It is a strong law. What bothers us is it still continues. Hazing is a culture. It's a tradition. It's a process, which siguro from the end side of the fraternity and the sororities. Siguro, I think the change should come from them this time. Because we already have a very strong law and still they disregard it.
Horacio, what do you feel?
Well yeah, that's true. Ever since our son died last September, a good 2 years, we have been monitoring. And for 2 years, there were no reported cases of hazing. But now, we learned that I think 2 or 3 cases of hazing again. So now we are questioning what happened. And as Minnie said, maybe we now have a stronger law, the amended law, the 11053. What we need now is maybe compliance from maybe coming from the school and the fraternities and sororities.
Pero when the law was passed, was that, we know that there are still, yung cases are ongoing against the suspects in the case, no? Pero when the law was passed, did you in a way feel na kahit papano, there's a bit of justice served here with the signing of the law and then...
Well, yes, we believe that the Congress and the Senate and everybody took parang a big part in it and saw that hazing has to be stopped. So that's why they amended the 8049. And with that, we were hoping that it could stop. It should stop. But with what happened to Cadet Dormitorio, it was very disturbing. So that's why we were saying that maybe it should be labeled as a heinous crime. And we're thankful for that the Congress and the Senate are doing that.
Pero aside from that, kasi we also have reports of yung kumalat din on social media, pati sa UP, and then even the sororities are actually condemning it. Parang nagpapatuloy pa rin, especially in universities. And anong observation nyo, or especially in schools and even outside?
Well, yun nga. We feel that the school should take a proactive part in stopping hazing. There's a lot of ways to change your process, your tradition. It's a very bad tradition. It's a violent tradition that it's already causing our children's lives. We're already seeing the the damage that it can cause our children, the violence that this process, that hazing and this initiation is causing our children. It's already affecting our children. So what I'm saying is, what I'm calling out for is that maybe on the side of the fraternities and the sororities, maybe the elders, the alumni, maybe they can take it upon themselves to change this, this kind of tradition, this kind of process, so as not to hurt our children.
At this point po ba, are there any efforts on the part of the family? I think you're still pursuing the cases kasi we just had the first conviction in Atio's case this year lang, ano? And then you're appealing it, and then there are also other pending cases. Ano pong
Right
status
now,
ngayon?
right now, the Solano case, we got a conviction for obstruction of justice. As I said, it's our first step to a perfect conviction, and we still have about 10 that are facing anti-hazing, and we're still hearing the case. And we will be going further than that.
But then there was one who won in the elections, just the last elections. There was one of the suspects who...
His name is Alston Kevin Anarna.
Anarna, yeah.
Yes, he was
Cavite.
He was part of a group chat. You know, he said very damaging things, like linisin yung library, itago yung paddle, sunugin yung tickler, all those things. And he's a lawyer. You know, he participated in that group chat, you know, to cover up. So it is very disturbing for me, and I hope for the ones in Cavite, na you elected a very...
questionable character.
A very questionable character, you know. Maybe with that, he has a disbarment case.
Yeah.
When the Senate hearing was completed, the committee report was submitted to the Supreme Court, and they acted upon it on a motu proprio basis that they filed a charge of disbarment cases against these lawyers.
Yes.
So he was actually, I don't know if he told that sa public.
He was open about it.
So I guess he was not. So he won. So his personality, his character is very questionable.
Kasi parang nanalo nga siya as a provincial board member, no?
Yes.
Okay. We will talk more about your case and also yung, moving forward, how we can talagang totally avoid yung hazing na in fraternities or as initiation rites. Maybe we can go to Dexter Dormitorio. He's with us. Dexter? Hello?
Yes. Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, Dexter, first of all, sorry about what happened to your brother, and our condolences again. And can you tell us more about the case that you filed against the suspects?
Okay, ma'am. So we filed 4 cases in total. One is a violation of the anti-hazing law. Another is a violation of the anti-torture law. And then one is for murder, and then dereliction of duty. So all the cadets are principals for the anti-torture, anti-hazing, and murder charges. And then from what I recall, the tactical officers and the doctors are considered as accomplices. And then they're also being charged for dereliction of duty, because they had knowledge that my brother was already maltreated sometime in August, but then they failed to act on it on the second and third occurrence. So there's knowledge on their part, but there's no action.
Dexter, did you ever imagine this thing could happen to your brother, to Darwin?
Not in a million chances. So we never thought that this would happen. My father, who is also a PMA alumnus, briefed my brother of the trades in the academy. It's a bit dated because it's around 50 years since he last went to the academy, 40 plus years. But he did tell my brother that there are instances where you're going to get punched or kicked by your superiors as part of discipline. But we never thought that it would extend to fatal injuries like what happened to my brother. Also, with the technology that we have right now, the PMA failed to communicate to the family what the status of my brother really is. They forgot that they don't own my brother's life. They're just borrowing my brother's life for the country.
Did you receive the news today that the AFP is actually planning already to convene a court martial in connection with this?
Yes, I've read about it, but I'm not sure how it's going to affect the case. But one good thing is I'll try to read more in it, and maybe I can explain further. I just saw the news, but I really haven't delved into it. Sorry.
But do you think they're doing enough right now
The
to ensure
PMA
justice?
is yes, the PMA is doing everything in its power, especially when General Bronner and Rear Admiral Kusi took over. The strong message that they sent um, is a deterrent to the other cadets in maltreating the other fourth class cadets in the academy. As a matter of fact, we already see the cadets being able to smile. My mother is a group of member of a chat group for the parents. It's just sad that she had to leave, knowing that the other children are already very happy. But so far as in terms of the PMA doing everything in its power, I think they're doing everything they can to mitigate maltreatment from happening any further.
But with this incident of hazing, what do you think is the message that it's sending to maybe future public servants, the future the youth who want to serve the country through by being a soldier?
That's the sad thing, ma'am, because my brother really wanted to serve the country. Sad part is he died at the hands of his comrades. So, it sends a bad message. It sends a bad taste in our mouth because he was aspiring to lead the country. But at the very same time, the traditions inside the academy, they don't help at all in molding strong leaders. And then, you're able to see that old traditions, they have to adapt. Something that I think the academy has failed to do for its entire existence.
Okay, we'll be talking more to Dexter and the Castillos who are here with us in the studio, but we have to take a short break. This is On the Record on CNN Philippines. You're on the record on CNN Philippines. We're talking about incidents of hazing. Yung Horacio, we were just talking about it, no? Yung pinagkaiba ng old hazing law and the 2018 anti-hazing law that was passed. Anong observation nyo?
Yeah, that is correct. Under the old law kasi, there was a perception that it is regulated, that the old law allows some form of hazing. Well, what is correct is it allows the initiation part, but it disallows any form of body harm.
Yeah.
And more so if it results to the death of the neophyte, it carries a penalty of reclusion.
Life imprisonment. If it leads to death or rape, or if the person is sodomized or mutilated, that's what's in the old law. Yeah.
And now with the amended law, now it becomes the 110 RA 11053.
53, yeah.
Talagang everything is prohibited.
And it defines already hazing, di ba? It already has a definition of what hazing is. Totally banning all forms of...
what's good here is they touch on the topic on the conspiracy version.
Yung mga nagplano, yung may alam,
Nagplano.
even the school itself, di ba, the
Yes, and
institution.
they can be cited for anti-hazing also.
Pero can you share with us yung how hard was it legally, di ba? I mean, emotionally, we've seen the family but legally, that's even another obstacle,
Well,
no?
legally, before before the law of 8049, there was no law defining hazing. If you will recall, there was a Ateneo law student by the name of Lenny Villa, wherein he was a victim also of hazing. During that time, it was so hard to prove hazing. So I think it was Senator Lina.
Yes.
He thought of it because he was a frat man himself, and he wanted to do something for the boy. So that's why he crafted and authored this 8049. So now with 8049, that was in 1995, but still there were deaths happened after that law, and I think what they want to point out is maybe to should we say to give more teeth to the law,
Yeah.
and siguro make the law more yung
For accountability and siguro
That's right.
responsibility of the frats and even the schools, no?
And even the
Oo.
schools.
We have on the line si Congresswoman Bernadette Herrera D. Congresswoman, she's... Good evening.
Oh, hello?
Yes, Congresswoman, hi. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah. We're talking about the
Yes, good
new...
evening, good evening.
Yes, you're one of the authors of the new anti-hazing law, the 2018 version. Can you tell us, ano bang naging, we have here kasi the parents of Ateo Castillo. Can you tell us, ano yung difference niya? Ano yung talagang
I'm
pinakamalaking...
sorry, I cannot understand. I cannot hear. Hello?
Hello, Congresswoman?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Hello? Yes,
Yes,
can you hear
yes.
me now? Okay. Ano ba talaga yung pinakamalaking difference nito doon sa old law? Paano naging mas malakas itong 2018 anti-hazing law?
Well, this one is more detailed already. This law is quite detailed already. Actually, mas protected na ngayon yung mga mga hazing victims because of this law. Kaya supposed to be ito yung protect palalo. Kaya nalulungkot ako na natutuloy pa rin yung mga hazing despite the fact na sobrang masinsin na talaga yung ginawa namin dito.
In terms of yung penalties, di ba? We have, nakaspecify na dito na gaano kalaki yung penalties and then the actual definition of hazing. Tama po ba na hindi pa nare-release yung implementing rules and regulations?
Yung IRR, kaya hinihintay ko po yun sa CHED. That's why I'm following it up with them. Sabi ko, bakit hanggang ngayon wala pa yung IRR natin? Wala naman kasing naka-exact provision. Doon nga kami nagkamali yata. Hindi namin nilagay kung ano yung limit ng time nung dapat provision nung pag-release ng IRR. Kaya nagtatagal. That's why I'm calling on CHED already to release the IRR as soon as possible.
But how do you feel about the new incidents, ma'am? We have the one at the PMA with the Dexter Dormitorio, and then we have Darwin Dormitorio, and then we have another one, yung reports naman sa UP.
Well, kaya yung dun sa PMA, kaya nga ang sinasabi namin, kailangan maglabas na si National Defense. Kasi kung dun sa batas, makikita mo dun sa batas, meron tayong exemption doon sa future PNP at saka future FP natin for extraordinary training, for physical, mental, pero hindi naman hazing yun. Supposed to be maglalabas ang Department of National Defense at saka ang PNP ng details as to the allowable training in excess that they're requesting para sa ating mga future police and future AFP. But they haven't also released that one and yet they still continued. So talagang nakakagalat lang because they haven't really complied with doing the list as to what to do about this. And then yung as far as dun sa UP is concerned, yun ang inaalam namin kasi kailangan pati faculty niyan may in charge, pati CUP will be liable for that kasi supposed to be nagpaalam sa kanila during the initiation rites. Kasi yun na po yung kasama sa batas natin. Every time magkakaroon ng initiation rites, they have to ask permission and there has to be a member present, a member of faculty present, at least two, to watch over the proceedings or the initiation rites. So most likely, hindi na isunod to.
But UP is also still investigating that and even other government agencies. No? Pero tanong ko lang, Congresswoman, are you a member of sorority po ba?
Yes, I'm a member of the UP Delta Lambda Sigma sorority.
Can you just give us an idea? Ano ba yung, bakit ba yung mga tao gustong-gustong sumali sa mga fraternity, sa mga sorority? Ano ba yung tunay na sinasabing brotherhood or sisterhood? But why are we having these hazing incidents? Oo.
As far as we're concerned, when I was in college, it's really sisterhood. And at the same time, we had a lot of common cause kasi. We had a lot of it's a social civic organization. So ako, based on my experience, I really learned a lot when I was in college because of my sorority, because we're already creating fundraising programs to support the many causes of the sorority. And then we've also been helping a lot of law sisters pass the bar exam for them to become lawyers. So ito yung mga pinagsasamahan namin. Kasi syempre, ako, nung college ako, gusto ko talagang pumasok sa mga community service projects. And one of the things that I saw in the sorority is that we really worked together well on that one. And it was a training ground for me. Even my initiation was a training ground for me. But that's why I know that you don't have to be physically hit. Diba?
Paano yung initiation nyo, Kong? Paano yung initiation nyo?
There are certain things that you have to go through, but it's not physical, it's not exactly mental or psychological. Hindi naman ganun eh. It's just really tests, certain tests that you have to go through. It's initiation rites lang talaga. And then you just go through that as a bonding of sisterhood. Kasi you share that experience together. So, but at the end of the day, what's important is what you do for the community. That's where the strength of the sorority lies. Just like any other organization, but ito lang, may kasama lang talaga siyang sisterhood.
Kong, pero kayo rin yung sorority nyo rin yung naglabas ng statement, no? Condemning yung activities of your fraternity, your counterpart.
Yes, I saw the statement and pinag-uusapan din namin yan among I haven't attended the meeting of the sorority yet as to what the final stand of the Alumni Association when it comes to that. But we're really saddened by what happened. It's really such a difficult time for the sorority as well as our brother and as well as the brother fraternity. But of course, we do not. We're sad. That's why they went through that again, knowing there's already a law in place.
Okay.
So, yun yung hindi namin maintindihan dahil syempre mga abogado, marami nila abogado, di ba? Bakit sila pa ang nag-violate ng batas na kakapasa lang natin? And this was really consulted among all fraternities also. And I've also consulted with my senior brothers regarding this one. So I was hoping that because they were aware of what we put in the law, that they would follow also.
Okay, Congresswoman, we'll continue our discussion after the break. Stay tuned. This is On the Record. You're watching On the Record on CNN Philippines. We're talking about recent hazing incidents. Let's go back to Dexter Dormitorio, the brother of Darwin who died of hazing at the Philippine Military Academy. Dexter, ano na lang yung message mo? How do you move forward? Anong plano ng family with regards to your brother's case?
Sa unang-una lang sa ma'am, first step for us is to focus on the case. We're going to investigate and look for more evidence. And then second is we're just praying that we get to heal the family, will heal over time. And then maybe third is I would just like to ask the PMA about their honor code. They're bound to not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate. However, the problem right now is they're hiding something they're lying. So if they uphold the values of the honor code, there's no need for an investigation. But I don't know how they're going to use the honor code to let the truth come out. So I think those are just the three items that will help the family move forward.
Okay. Thank you, Dexter. And again, we're so sorry for the loss of the family. And going back here to the studio, we have Carmina and Horacio. The family has been through a lot of sacrifices after what happened to your son. Tingin nyo ba, kaya pa talagang matigil, totally stop hazing?
I think yes. I think yes. It should start from the fraternities and the sororities themselves. It's about time na we see it as a violent act. Na it's affecting again our children, it's hurting our children mentally and physically, and it's killing our children. I just hope na from their end, please stop it na. Parang let's put an end to it once and for all for our children's safety. So that's what I think that should happen. The law is very good. The law is very strong. I don't think we still need to amend it. It's a very, very good law. It just have to be implemented correctly. And I also call on the schools to guide the implementation of this law. And of course, as a second parent to our children, please be there to protect our children.
Okay. Thank you very much to the Castillos, and thank you to our other guests. That's On the Record this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Ruth Cabal.